Tomorrow. In fact, feels like temperatures likely getting down into the 20s and teens by tomorrow. Here's the setup and what's happening across the Great Lakes and Midwest right now. We've got some rain showers for the most part that are just moving through. We had a few elevated storms along the warm front that have been pushing in, and plenty of moisture beginning to dig in with the system as well. Our jet stream has a big trough in it across parts of the west, allowing that colder air to filter on in, and those accelerating winds helping to provide some of that lift in the atmosphere later on today for some of these showers and thunderstorms to get going. Look at how far the warm front is. We're talking rain to start with this system, and then as it tracks off towards the east, eventually makes its way towards the eastern seaboard, and we'll be left with those colder conditions. So here's the big area of concern that we're watching for today: eastern Oklahoma, western and northern parts of Arkansas, central Missouri, Joplin into Springfield, over towards St. Louis does have that threat. And I think damaging winds would be the most likely form of severe weather, but there is a little bit of a rotation potential just because our winds are changing with height and speed into the atmosphere. Here's a look at the forecast for tonight, and we're going to time out these showers and thunderstorms for you. Notice just some spotty showers here through the morning hours, but once we get towards 5, 6 o'clock tonight, that's when we're going to see storms developing along the cold front. This will move down towards Little Rock later tonight, maybe 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, make its way towards Memphis, and eventually make its way all the way down towards the Gulf Coast. So a far-reaching system here. Tomorrow's forecast showing you the rain. Severe weather setup not as favorable, maybe a few thunderstorms with this, but not expecting organized severe weather tomorrow. D.C. up towards Boston along the I-95 corridor. This is most likely going to happen late tomorrow. So maybe a couple sprinkles in the morning, but rain most likely late in the afternoon and into your Tuesday night. Notice a little pink popping up with elevation. You could get a little snow mixing in into the higher elevations and then finishing off with some snow. But even just rain in places like Portland as well as in Bangor. The rain may be heavy at times as we head into tomorrow at night and into your Wednesday. In fact, 1 to 2 inches of rain for Boston as well as Providence and into Hartford, up to an inch in New York City and Philadelphia. Should get close to the 80-degree mark, Houston. We're talking about a 30-degree plummet between today and tomorrow. So be prepared and get those coats ready. Let's take a look at the temperatures across the region right now. Lots of 50s and 60s already. 64 in New Orleans, 52 degrees in Atlanta, Nashville around 53 degrees. So our jet stream taking that dive down towards the south, making its way to the Gulf Coast. That's allowing that Arctic air to spill in across the area starting tonight and lasting through a good portion of the week as well. Of course, the air will be modified, so we're not talking of the Minnesota cold, but it's going to feel chilly for you. So enjoy the 77 degrees in New Orleans for today, 75 in Jackson, Dothan, Alabama at 73 degrees, and watch what happens as we head into tomorrow. There you see the 50s coming into Nashville, Jackson into the 60s, and we'll watch that cold air spread in even further by Wednesday. So Wednesday, the coldest day of the bunch with 50s on the way, 50 in Atlanta and looking for 52 in Nashville. A reinforcing shot of cold air really settles in as we head towards the weekend. 40s for you in Nashville, and look at this, 40s by your Friday in Atlanta as well. Even Jacksonville is going to get down into the lower 50s, while southern parts of Florida will be spared the really cold Arctic air. Springfield coming in around 40 degrees for your forecast high. Here's a look at Atlanta. Your average high 57 degrees. So we've been very spoiled by the warm air and dry conditions too. We really could use a little bit of rain. Temperatures will drop into the 50s for your highs and actually get below average for a change, and that's going to stick around. All right, well, hopefully you had a chance to get outside, enjoy some of the nice weather over the weekend. Maybe you got your holiday decorations up or you got that yard cleaned up, because that cold air is going to be making its way into the Northeast. So right now, temperature is not too bad. We're starting out of the gate. You know, we're at or below the freezing mark in interior parts of the Northeast, with 37 in Boston, 41 in New York City, where you've been dealing with some of that fog this morning, and 41 in Washington, D.C. So here's a look at the forecast highs today. We're looking at 40s to middle 50s across the region, around 57 in D.C., Pittsburgh at 57, Cincinnati up there into the 60s, so that's feeling good. Cold front's going to start moving in for tomorrow. You'll notice the cloud cover, maybe a couple sprinkles early, but most of the rain will hold off till later in the day. So until that cold front passes the region, your temperature's still not too bad. Near 60 in New York City and 61 degrees in D.C. for your Tuesday. Watch what happens, though, Tuesday night into your Wednesday morning. Those temperatures are starting to drop, and they're going to come crashing on in along with some gusty conditions. So notice how a lot of you are going to be experiencing those temperatures falling even during the daytime hours. Here's a look at your Thursday morning as temperatures get down even into the 20s for Buffalo, into Pittsburgh, 34 degrees in New York City, 31 in Boston. So those freezing temperatures are going to be moving in along with this as well. Wednesday's numbers look like this for your highs: 35 in Buffalo, Pittsburgh looking for a high around 39 degrees, while you're holding around the 50-degree mark here in places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, as well as into Boston. But as we take a look at your Thursday, we're talking 30s in the interior. Teens up there in Marquette, 32 in Detroit, and upper 40s expected along the I-95 corridor. Temperatures drop then into the 30s as we head into your Friday. It's going to be a cold has arrived in parts of the upper Midwest already as that jet stream continues to dip further down towards the south, and everyone will be experiencing the cold air, especially as we head towards the weekend. So if you're looking for it, be patient. It's on the way. Snow lovers should be happy as we're getting a fresh coating of snow across parts of the Dakotas right now. But the winds are really strong. In fact, I was just checking observations over here in Rapid City. The winds have been gusting the last 3 hours greater than 50 miles per hour. In fact, I think the peak was 58. So really difficult conditions right now along Interstate 90 as well as along I-94. Fargo, your temperature's still above the freezing mark, but don't worry, your temperatures are going to be plummeting and you're going to change over to some of that snow. So almost time to get into place and not travel any longer. Minneapolis, you just got a couple of sprinkles around the region, but it's going to change over to some snow after the sun goes down for tonight. So a quick transition, we think, from rain to snow that will be taking place between 6 and midnight. And notice the snow showers kind of lingering across the northern tier of the country here through the day tomorrow. How much snowfall are we talking? Well, it's not a ton. The heaviest amounts are going to be right up here towards the U.S.-Canadian border, where a few spots could top that 8-inch range, but generally less than an inch for the Twin Cities, maybe 3 to 5 in places like Fargo. But the blowing is going to be a big problem and create some